Hi, I'm Carrie Murphy, and welcome back to Inspired Living TV. You know, I truly believe we are all born with our own innate special gifts and talents. Some of us know what they are early on, and some of us decide a little bit later in life. But what I love is other women who make it their mission to empower others. And my guest today is exactly that. She is known as an international cheetah girl and the first to score that perfect 3-0 on Dancing with the Stars. But more than anything, she is incredibly inspiring and on a mission to empower as many women as possible.
Won't stop till the moon is setting. What you see now is what you're getting. You can't quit with the heat so sick. Come on,
I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll.
So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine.
Sabrina, thank you so much for joining me. I'm actually really excited to sit down with you.
Thank you.
And we're in your one of your studios where you teach dance.
Yes, I'm here a lot.
Yeah, home away from home.
Yes, yes.
Well, you know, you knew early on. I mean, you've done such amazing work, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I know so many people struggle with like finding their passion and finding their purpose. And then there's some of us who kind of come out of the womb and we're like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And that's kind of how you showed up, right?
Yeah, I really can remember my very first performance. You know, my first recital. I had a cane, I had a top hat. Like I remember everything, you know, and just being on that stage more than anything just felt right, you know, and now performing on any stage that I ever get a chance to, like all throughout my career, I never felt like I took anything for granted. I just really loved performing.
Did you ever doubt that ability? Because I feel like we all have amazing gifts, Sabrina, and that when we tap into those and we're like, this is what I'm here to do, that everything else opens up in the right time. Right. But I think a lot of us second guess those things and go,
Absolutely.
oh no. And I know you were young, but still, throughout your career, have you ever thought, no, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? Or have you always known?
I feel like a little bit of both in a sense. There's times where I have really been confident and I just know what my next step is. I know what I need to accomplish next. And then there's times where I have doubted myself. This is a really tough industry, specifically to be a part of. But I'm lucky enough to have a really great family, a really good support system on those rough times. I think you hear all the time about biographies of performers and how much doubt they have, even the most successful ones.
Absolutely, right.
And, you know, I feel like for me, I having that support system has helped me stay not only confident, but also grounded, you know, keeping me from letting myself go too high when the cheetah days were just incredible, bringing me back down to reality of who I was, what I wanted to accomplish. And, you know, having that support system, I think, was the best. But also, my parents also would say, it's okay that you were bummed. You know, I had several auditions. As an actress, you go to audition after audition after audition. You get no. And a lot of times, it's not even the performance level. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you weren't really that great that day.
Right.
But sometimes it's literally your looks, and you can't change that.
Like, this is what it is here, people.
Don't have blue eyes. Don't have red hair. Like, that's just not, and that's what they wanted, you know? And so I think having people around you to also allow you to be bummed. You liked that character.
Right.
It's okay to be bummed. Spend the day being bummed, and then pick it up and move on.
And then get over it.
Yeah, and then you get over it.
We all have disappointments, and I feel like whether you own a business or you're on camera or whatever it is, Sabrina, I do feel like sometimes we are shaken and we doubt ourselves and we go, gosh, you know what? What's wrong with me? Why aren't things lining up? But you can't change what is out of your ability, what's out of your DNA, right?
Right, absolutely. You know, and I think it's just also being able to take yourself out of the emotional aspect of it and go, okay, what can I do better? Okay, you know what? I know that I didn't, when it came to singing, you know, I know I wasn't strong enough. Okay, so I need to get back into more classes. I need to up my game on that, you know, and being able to kind of see how you can improve.
Right, so taking personal responsibility, too, for what shows up.
It's not always everyone else's fault when you don't get the things that you need, you know, the things that you're looking for.
So true.
Absolutely.
So you talked about auditioning, and I know you started out young, and you kind of worked your way up. So tell us a little bit about that, and then I want to talk about the big break. landed that role, right? As a
Man.
cheetah girl.
Yes.
So
Legitimately did a backflip when I found out I booked the cheetah
oh, I
girl.
could
So,
only imagine.
Like, legitimately
but I
did.
mean, people think again, maybe you weren't well known by then, and all of a sudden it looks like you were an overnight success.
Right.
Right.
And it was years.
There is
years
no
of-
such thing
No.
as an overnight success.
I mean, and if it is, it was not my case.
Right.
But yeah, years of just really pushing. You know, I started just like the girls that I work with now, right here in a dance studio, loving to dance,
Yeah.
living at the studio like they do, doing homework at the studio, you know, truly a second home.
Right.
And finally was able to talk my parents into letting me get an agent of some sort. They said, okay, but they let me get a background agent, which is, you know, the people that are all in the background.
Yeah,
of
all
the
the
group,
extras
all
that
the
you see.
extras.
Right, right.
And they kept putting those like kind of obstacles to see if it would kind of either take me down and not make me as interested anymore. And if anything, it just fueled my drive and my love for it. I loved being on set. I loved the cameras. I loved, you know, the producers that I'd meet. I loved the other actors. I loved just the trailers. I loved not even when I had a trailer and it was just a cardboard.
Because I swear, as an extra, you don't really get a trailer.
don't get
if you
that.
like being an extra, you know that's a good
But
sign.
you know that, well, yes, and you know that the trailers are around the
Right
corner.
outside the door,
If
right.
you get the best job, then you get to have one, you know?
Right.
So that was just, it helped me work my way up, and I just kept getting, you know, better auditions. I'd get a bigger role in a commercial, and then I went from commercials to booking a movie with Angela Lansbury on Hallmark Channel, which was so cool. I mean, I just...
Good old Angela Lansbury.
Yes, felt
right.
like I was just wanting to be a sponge around her because
Sure.
she was just so iconic, you know. And then, booking, I was on Bold and the Beautiful for a while, and then I did, you know, different, just guest starring appearances on different shows, you know, and just really trying to, what actors do is build your resume. And then the Cheetah Girls came through, my agent, and it was like, first of all, everyone that auditioned for that, for the most part, I can't say everyone, but most people came and auditioned for all the roles. So I went out for Galleria, I went
Sure.
out for Chanel, I went out for Aqua.
Like whatever I can get.
Yeah, I went out for everything. And they were looking for actors that could also dance and sing, you know, and so it was just... of course I was drawn to Dorinda. I
Yeah.
mean, she was a dancer, you know, and then the thing was like must have lots of hip hop ability, and I was like I got it, I can pop up the lock, I got it, you know, and I was so excited, and I loved her role actually even more because the audition piece had a very emotional scene in it, you know, and I really loved doing dramatic roles, you know, and still do, and I don't know why, but that character, I knew how I would want to dress as Dorinda. I just
It just
knew
felt
it.
like you.
Felt
It was-
like
it was your
But
role.
again, there had been many auditions that felt like me that I did not book.
Right.
So, I mean, the best thing you can do is just go out there and be prepared and do as best as you can. And I got a call back. And then I got another call back. And then I got another.
Okay, this is what I want people to understand.
Yeah.
That it's not like you go in and do one audition. It's like, oh, you booked the job.
No.
You had like 5 or 6 callbacks,
Yeah.
and then they put you on hold.
I think
like they don't get what that feels
Right.
like.
I think that for the Cheetah Girls, it was like over 400 people had auditioned
Wow.
for the parts.
Right.
Again, you came in and you had to know all the sides.
Yeah.
You had to know everything. And so I went in, and even that final call at the time, Galleria was already being done by Raven. Raven was just kicking off That's So Raven, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And of course, I knew who she was from The Cosby Show, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
and then in comes Adrienne Bailon, and I know her from 3LW, and I'm like, oh my God, this audition just got way more scary. And Solange Knowles, Beyonce's
Yes,
sister,
yes.
she was originally cast as Aqua. And
Wow.
my character was the only one that had not been cast, so they didn't know what they wanted. There were African-American girls, there were Latinas in there, there was me who they didn't even at the time know I'm half Latina. You
Right,
know?
right.
And, you know, they were looking for that last missing piece with my role, and they had a bunch of, but I would say there's at least 10 of us in the waiting room, and they were just bringing us in, seeing how we vibed. I did an audition piece with Adrienne, and I really think that was one that sealed the deal, and the director, Oz, I was doing it emotional, but I wasn't taking it super far. He said, I want you to go there. And I was like, And you just know when a director gives you a comment,
Go there,
and
yeah.
a go-to, you're like, all right,
here I go.
Put my big girl pants on, here I go. And that was just an awesome scene, and we were actually able to even film it better when we got a chance. So it was a very cool process. And I mean, again, I got the call from my agent, and I legitimately did a back tuck in my parents' living room.
I love it.
So excited.
I love it. I can
Yeah.
only imagine. And, you know, again, such a great story. No matter where you are in your life, no matter how old you are, it's all about preparation meeting opportunity. And you said something about, you know, building your resume and figuring out how you can be better. You know, in my world where we have a lot of people online, we have people popping up as influencers overnight.
Sure.
You know, it's like, okay, but how do you last? How do you become a sustainable figure in whatever industry you're in?
Right.
And it's getting better, you know, at what you do.
Yeah.
And when someone says go there, pushing yourself to show up, I think,
I mean, I had not practiced that at all that way, you know, but it's like you just have to.
But you also trusted yourself.
You follow your instincts.
Yeah.
You follow what you feel like you know is the good, you know, what brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
And again, I really believe that, I mean, my poor parents driving me up and, you know, back and forth to LA for my auditions, allowing me to belt my heart out in the passenger seat as I'm like preparing. I mean, they were, I mean, if it wasn't for them, I probably would have never been able to like get to that audition, which is what took my career to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand just that alone. People say, you should get your daughter into modeling. I'm like, I've owned an agency.
Yeah.
I know that world. I do not have the time to fight LA traffic to do that right now, right?
Traffic, just picking up and going, okay, there's an audition in 3 hours, and you're like,
sorry,
she's in school right now. How
And
do I
it's
get her
also,
out?
you know, when you get to an age too where you know that it's what you really want.
Right.
And that's what I want for Lauren. And I think for, again, those of you who are watching, it's like, what do you really want? What do you feel like you're really passionate about that maybe you've been waiting for someone to validate you? And I feel like in the entertainment industry, you're always waiting for someone to validate your talent, to tell you you're good enough.
Right.
And that's tough.
It
like,
is.
how did you handle the ongoing rejection, especially as a young woman?
You know, it's tough. It's something that I know it sounds a little repetitive, but having that support system of especially being a little younger, you know, being 11, 12.
Were you not as aware, maybe?
I think it was more so like I just had thick skin, but I had thick skin because my parents were like, whatever.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, the next one's coming.
Yeah.
My parents and I always have this thing that we say, like, the train's coming. It's coming. You can feel it. You know, that next audition might be the one, you know, and you having that positivity in your life is so important. But, you know, again, they would allow me when there was one that I really, really wanted. There was a Audrey Hepburn. I love Audrey Hepburn. And there was a biography that someone was filming and doing on her. And it was a role to play her as a younger ballerina. And I wanted it so bad. And I went to like 3 or 4 callbacks for it, and I didn't end up booking it. And it was just devastating. You know, I really, really wanted it. And I didn't get it. And my dad, I remember him walking into my room that next day and was like, I get it. It was disappointing. We all thought this was going to be a great role, but it wasn't. It wasn't the one that was going to take you to where you want to go, and that's okay.
And that, again, is so great for anything in life that you feel like you really want and doesn't show up. I mean, I've learned even just being an entrepreneur for 20 years that sometimes you want something, you want a deal or a partnership or something to happen, a client to come in, and it doesn't. And it's easy to sit in that disappointment or go, you know what, that wasn't my train.
Right.
That wasn't my train.
But
you know what? Your train came in full board with the Cheetah Girls, sweetie. So what was that like? Tell us, what was it like going from kind of like not known to becoming a global sensation? I mean, the Cheetah Girls was like the #1 at the time, like best-selling franchise of the Disney Channel. Paved the way for other shows like High School Musical. I mean, what was that like? And tell me what that was like. But I also want to hear about how did you deal with the haters, because I am sure that whenever you're put in a brighter light, there's more people that want to pick you apart.
Right. Oh, absolutely. First, it was unbelievable. I mean, I feel like if there was one thing I didn't do, and this is insane if you know how many pictures I have, I still don't feel like I took enough pictures along the line and enough video of us just goofing off on our, you know, whether it was in our trailers in India or walking through the streets of Barcelona. I mean, we really
What an incredible experience for you.
We filmed in the most amazing places. We toured the country over and over again. Our first big tour, we did a Christmas album and we did a tour with that one, and then after the second movie, our Party's Just Begun tour, we just kept extending it. I mean, we were on the road for so long, almost a year, just because it kept going longer and longer, and they kept asking us, do you guys feel okay to do another month or two? And we're like, yeah, this is like the best.
Like, we'll keep going.
Yeah, selling out Houston Rodeo.
I mean, just
under 3
amazing.
minutes. Like, I mean, 80,000 people. I mean, there were just so many times where we would just look at each other and we wanted to like pinch ourselves because it was just like, you know, and we were so close, you know, of just, we went through so much together, and it was awesome to work so close with your best friends and promoting. I mean, being able to meet kids, whether it was hospitals or, you know, meet and greet lines, and knowing like that next generation is getting affected by your work.
Yeah.
Was an eye-opener. I never expected as an actress to do that.
Sure.
And the Cheetah Girls, the girl empowerment message behind that brought what I did and what I wanted to do as a career for the rest of my life to a whole other meaning. It wasn't just a job. It was like being able to like
make an impact,
inspire young girls. And it wasn't just talking about, oh, you can be a singer and dancer just like I am. It was like, you want to be a doctor? Be a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the women, and I love where it's all coming back around again, this empowerment of young, I mean, Reese Witherspoon, what she's doing with her production company.
Yeah, it's amazing.
More women actresses big roles.
Right.
Not
the little supporting
ones,
roles, right.
The main role,
Yeah.
you know, and Drew Barrymore has been doing that for years.
Yeah, I feel like the women are really rising. And when one rises, we all do.
Exactly.
You know, when we all find our voice, we give voices to everyone else.
Yes.
You know, and again, though, with that, I want to go back to what is it like handling the criticism?
It's hard. I mean, having...
And how do you do it?
Yeah, having that, you know, a little bit of a weight put on your shoulders that what your choices and things that you do affect other people, and that's a lot. As far as haters go, I feel really lucky. There's, of course,
how do you hate this?
Of course, there are haters out there. You know, when I was on Dancing with the Stars, you know, being in those skinny dresses next to these like teeny tiny dancers, you know, you get hated on about your weight. You know, I'm anywhere between, on my best days, I'm a 2, sometimes I'm a 6. And normally that, for some people, wouldn't seem like a big size. But when I'm on that 6 level, for sure I get comments back. You know, of course they do.
It's so funny, right?
And it's hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those like, I mean, that's one thing that you'll hear a lot of people say is you don't go on those chat rooms.
Right.
Don't go into
no matter
the chat
what
rooms.
you do.
No matter if you think everyone loves you, believe me, there's a ton of people out there that do not.
Right.
So they will take you down, swipe you at the knees,
Right.
and cut you up into
Knobbly
pieces.
knees, yes.
But, you know, and that is all here and there. But, you know, I think for me, the more of the positive stuff has really come out of it. I have not had, you know, some of my friends that are in the industry have really bad haters, and there's a lot of them. You know, their Instagram numbers are up higher than mine, but they're like, yeah, that extra amount, they all love getting on my page and talking smack.
Right,
you know?
right.
And I'm lucky. I don't. My Instagram, it is so much positivity, and I'm really happy. Of course, there's some, but it's okay. You know, I mean, that they're definitely more than welcome to have their own opinion.
Right.
I try to stay in my own lane. I try to stay on that positive route, you know, and be happy in the things that are going well in my life, you know, and
that
do as much
is
as
a
I
very
can.
good reminder. And it doesn't matter. I mean, the fact that you grew up in it, you do have a thicker skin, I think, and you are more resilient. But for some of the women I work with, Sabrina, who are just putting themselves out on camera in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're scared to death to be seen, and yet they have such a passionate message they want to share. Like, imagine that. Like, you know, it's like all that comes up and you're so scared about what people are going to say about you, what people are going to think about you. So your advice to them would be what?
You know, get out there, focus on the positivity, focus on what your positive message is, and know that even if you talk to 20 people and there's one person that comes out of there and it makes a difference in their life, I'm telling you, it is worth it. It is amazing to have little girls, or now, you know, I mean, I went to you know, a premiere, a Disney Channel premiere with, you know, Sabrina Carpenter, and like, she was a fan of the Cheetah Girls, and she's like, and I'm just like going, girl, you're huge.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, you know, like, wow, what a compliment, you know, and from that to even, you know, girls that I work with now that get better, and to see the look on their face when they get better, and I know that I've helped them. I've got high school girls, you know, their senior year when they leave, and it's that bond, and knowing how much of a difference I made in their life, it swipes out any hater. I mean, there's probably more I can't think of, but I just don't care.
Like, you don't focus on it. You can't focus on that.
You can't focus. I don't even hear them, because I'm so focused on this amazing positivity that I'm able to do, and that's being put back onto me from them.
And I feel like when you're doing something that you really love and you are passionate about, sure, you'll get the haters, but the joy that you get from making the impact. And like you said, me too. Like when I'm working with my clients and I see a transformation, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's worth everything, you know? So let's talk a little bit about your role now. What are you doing? Why is empowering young women so important to you?
I mean, I feel like for me, I had a lot of incredibly empowering women growing up. And I know that's not the case for everyone. They don't get to just reach over across the dinner table to their mom and have someone, you know, there pushing, supporting, being an example, being a role model.
Right.
And so it's just after the Cheetah Girls, just seeing how that has really continued to just get better and better and bigger, girl empowerment.
Yeah.
It's just something that has become a part of me now. Like, I could, even if I didn't want to, I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Like, just give it up.
In the DNA. It's in there.
It's within me now, you know, and for me, I had, you know, growing up in a dance studio, I had a lot of dance teachers that impacted my life. You know, I had a lot of everyone that kind of taught me and I was able to be around was a very positive role model for me. And I just love being able to give back. I work a lot, mainly, and I have all through the Cheetah Girls. I did this all through the Cheetah Girls. I worked with a dance team. It's technically called Song Team. They will die if they hear me call them a dance team. This is Song Team, and it's high school girls, and I get them when they're about 14 years old, and they're brand new freshies. Actually get them right at the end of their 8th grade year.
Right, so they're not even in there yet.
In high school. We work throughout the summer, and then they leave, and they're 17, 18, going into college, and they all come back. They all visit me. I love it.
Yeah.
But that 14 to 18 group of years where they're not little kids anymore. They're really growing into their woman, like who they want to be,
they're stepping
what they
into,
want to like represent, and they're also going through a lot of obstacles, whether it's peer pressure, you know, whether it's self-doubt, whether, you know, there's so many things that I get to be, you know, kind of that big sister to them, you know. I'm not their mom, who, you know, that's another thing that I also work with them on is, you know, them separating from their moms. Dancers are very close to their moms.
Right.
Your mom is in that ballroom with you.
Going everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's called dance moms, people.
Dance moms. Well,
it's a thing.
They give up a lot of their, you know, extra time. They
their
sacrifice
life.
a lot for you to be able to dance on a high competitive level.
Yeah.
And those ages when they start pulling away from their mom, they're no longer wanting to do the shopping trips to the mall and hang out. They're going to the shopping mall with their mom or with their friends.
Yeah.
And you know, I just get to really help somewhat, not mold them in any way, but just help.
But you are, though. You are.
Being there for them during the highs and the lows that high school brings. It just does. You know, that first really bad breakup. As soon as a girl of mine walks in, and I know.
Yeah, right. Oh, here we go.
It was him.
Here we go.
It was him. The one I saw you walking in the hallway holding hands, he did something wrong. You know, and so we, you know, I get this like really good relationship with my girls, and I love it. They come in, they're so young, they're so fresh, and they're just starry-eyed, and then by the time they're senior year, it's like they are it. They know. And you know, good. I want them to go out in that world with confidence. Like that'll get you places.
I wish we could all get that a little sooner. Like we need Sabrinas in our lives like much later on, because I feel like, you know, we all are still always evolving, we're always learning, we're always stepping into that next version
Yeah.
of who we are.
Yeah.
And
I think helping them learn what we talked about, the accountability too.
Yeah, yeah,
helping
for
them
sure.
grow up, going from junior high to ending, you know, having these high school years. Your mom shouldn't be making your lunch anymore. You're
right.
grown.
Or your bed.
Yeah.
Or your bed.
Or
right?
your bed. Or putting your clothes away.
Right.
You know, that kind of stuff. Like having that accountability. And our program really focuses on the parents start taking that step back, and when their kid is sick, we expect them to come to us. I'm really sick. Am I okay to sit down today? Or, you know, I've got this test and I really need, you know,
Right.
to study. Like certain things they need to like understand what it is about, how to be accountable of the commitment you've made and the things you need to do to fulfill that commitment.
Yeah,
you know, and
absolutely.
how to balance your life too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lessons that happen that we get to be a part of, and but more than anything, I just love being their cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Like, I call all my girls, I call them my glitter bugs. And even when they make me mad, they know they're my glitter bugs. And, you know, if anything, what we do in our room when we're working is they work so hard.
Yeah.
And I know they do it for me. I know they do it for themselves, but both that combined, what we get at the end of our national competition at the end of the year, and when we go to banquet and we reminisce on all of it, it makes every season worth it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Oh.
having the seniors graduate, I've got 3 seniors this year. I absolutely love them. Having them graduate is so hard. But I love it because I get, you know, 2 of them are going to UCLA. You know, they
It's like seeing your little sisters
they're-
fly
it's
on.
seeing my
yeah.
yes,
yeah.
my little birds, they're gone.
So-
you know, they just glitter away, but they come back and say, hey, every
Right.
once in a while, which is good.
So tell me what's next for you, besides getting married, which is very exciting.
Woo.
What is next for Sabrina Bryan?
Right now, I'm, you know, doing a lot of like rebranding, building myself up. I am getting into some influencing or influencer work, really digging into that next set of, you know, career moves I want to do. One of them is also producing, Keely Williams, who she just had a baby, so we're on a little bit of a hiatus.
But you opened a production studio.
Fellow Cheetah
Yeah,
Girl,
yeah.
we got a production company together.
So
and
exciting.
we create just fun content, all female driven, funny things of things that we've seen people go through with first time moms to dating, and just we love to laugh, but this has been really great and a really fun project for us to be a part of, because we're writing, we're producing, we're directing, we're doing wardrobe, we
Right.
are
All the things that you had people
every-
for, now you're doing it
Yes,
all.
Now we're doing it all and keeping that organized and on set, and, you know, catering, like making sure everyone's fed, like
Yeah.
just everything.
It's like a role reversal a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. It's a lot of hard work, but so fun. And more than anything, we get to create together, which Keely and I just absolutely love to do.
Oh, that's amazing, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I could talk to you for hours. I
I
know there's so much to
know.
talk about. But I want to wrap with, what does inspired living mean to you?
Wow. Inspired living means, you know, reaching out to find those who inspire you and learning from them, but then also giving it back and trying to inspire others that are wanting the same goals. They don't have to be, like for me, I don't feel like all the goals have to be acting or singing and dancing driven. If anything, I want them to be, do you want to be the next Mia Hamm? You want to be the next like huge women's soccer like
Right.
person
Star,
that goes
yeah.
to that star?
Yeah.
Go for it, you know. Or you wanting to be an attorney, you know, fighting that criminal justice, you know,
Right.
just things like that. Everyone has a dream. Everyone's dreams are important. That's what makes this world keep turning.
Yeah.
And I just
So
want
true.
inspired living just means a lot to me to be able to do that, but also meet women like you who inspire me.
Thank
you
you.
know,
Yeah.
that's so important.
It all goes around.
Yes.
It does. It
And
all
I'm
goes
all
around.
about that girl power.
I could tell. Oh, again, I love you. I could like sit and talk to you forever. Thank you, Sabrina, for sharing your infectious joy and inspiration with us
you.
today. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for watching this Inspired Living interview. We would love to hear from you, so please post your comments below. And as we always say, when you are inspired, you inspire others. So please share this, especially with a young woman in your life. We're never too young or too old to be inspired, to step into a different and more powerful version of who we are. So please share this with someone that's important to you. And as always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.